7 Mountain West teams are going bowling. Bowl season is here, so we're back on the Big Mountain to bring you an update. Welcome back to the Big Mountain. I am JY. Gonna go over the 7 bowl games in which we have Mountain West members playing in. 7 teams competing this year. This is the 18th time of the last 19 years that the Mountain West has had 5 or more schools in bowl games, the lone exception being the 2020 COVID year. So it doesn't even really count. So I want to go over every one of these games. We're going to go chronologically. The first one here on December 13th, this coming weekend, the LA Bowl. We have Boise State versus Washington. This is Mountain West versus Big Ten. Washington comes in 8-4. They were 7th in the Big Ten. Of course, Boise State is the Mountain West champion at 9-4. Kickoff here will be 5 p.m. Pacific time. This game will be on ABC from Inglewood, California. The Broncos are bowl eligible for the 28th consecutive season. That is the second longest streak in FBS. This is the 3rd time the Broncos and the Huskies are going to meet up in a bowl game. The teams have split the previous meetings, one in 2012, one in 2019. Should be a really good game here on Saturday. The second game is December 22nd. This is the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. Utah State coming in at 6-6. Matches up against Washington State, also 6-6. This will be a noon kickoff, Mountain Time. The game will be aired on ESPN. Of course, being played on the Blue in Boise, Idaho. Utah State is making their 18th bowl appearance. Currently, they have a record of 6-11 in bowl games. Utah State and Washington State have played 5 times, and the Cougars hold a 3-2 record in these matchups. The Mountain West teams are 15-13 against Pac-12 teams in bowl games. Third game here is December 23rd. The Frisco Bowl. UNLV is heading to Texas, the runner-up in the Mountain West with a record of 10-3. They're going to be playing the Ohio Bobcats, who was tied for 2nd in the regular season in the MAC. They have a record of 8-4. The tiebreaker did not have them get into the MAC championship game, but they did have a record that was tied for 2nd. Kickoff here is 8 p.m. Central Time. This game on ESPN in Frisco, Texas. That's just north of Dallas. Of course, UNLV comes in here with the Mountain West Offensive Player of the Year, Anthony Calandria, and this is their 2nd straight 10-win season. This is UNLV's 3rd straight bowl eligible season. They are 4-2 all time in bowl games. This is the first Mountain West team to play in the Frisco Bowl since 2022, and the Mountain West has a record of 0-3 versus the Ohio Bobcats in bowl games. So the Rebels looking to get the Mountain West first win against the Bobcats here in Texas. December 24th, we've got the Hawaii Bowl. That's Hawaii versus California. Hawaii coming in 8-4. Cal coming in 7-5. They are 7th in the ACC. Kickoff is 3 p.m. Hawaii time. It is on ESPN live from Honolulu, Hawaii. This is Hawaii's 16th bowl appearance and their 11th appearance in the Hawaii Bowl. This is their first bowl appearance under Coach Chang. Really has progressed that program every year under his leadership, this being their first bowl appearance with him as coach. This game will showcase the Mountain West Freshman of the Year in quarterback Halahado and the Special Teams Player of the Year, Matsuzawa, the Tokyo toe there for Hawaii. Going to the day after Christmas, December 26th, is a good one. It's the Rate Bowl, New Mexico versus Minnesota. The second matchup we have of Mountain West versus Big Ten. Of course, New Mexico coming in at 9-3, Minnesota at 7-5. The kickoff here, 2:30 p.m. Pacific time from Phoenix, Arizona. This will be on ESPN. Of course, the New Lobos here coming in with a 6-game win streak. And they're under first-year head coach Jason Eck, making all kinds of noise, pushed for that Mountain West championship game. Of course, came up just a little bit short in that tiebreaker. This is going to showcase one of the co-defensive players of the year in Jackson Eck. This is also the Lobos' 14th bowl appearance, but their first outside of the state of New Mexico since 2004. So over 20 years since the Lobos have played in a bowl outside of New Mexico. Very exciting for them and their fans. UNM will face Minnesota here for the first time in history, but they will be the third Big Ten team that they play this year. So as we know, they started off with Michigan, did the Lobos, had a close loss there in the first game of the season. Then they really took it to UCLA a few weeks later. So the third Big Ten team here for the Lobos this year. Really excited for this game. Then on December 27th, we have 2 games. Let's start with the New Mexico Bowl. San Diego State coming in at 9-3 versus North Texas, 11-2, one of the best defenses in the country versus one of the best offenses in the country. This is a heck of a matchup too. Kickoff, it's 3:45 p.m. Mountain Time in Albuquerque, New Mexico, again on ESPN. This will be the Aztecs' 13th bowl game in 16 seasons, their first since 2022. Will showcase the other co-defensive player of the year in Chris Johnson, a fantastic talent there for the Aztecs. San Diego State is 6-1 all time versus the Mean Green. And the Mean Green finished 25th in the CFP rankings as the American runner-up. This is the 8th American Bowl opponent all time, and the Mountain West holds a 5-2 mark against the American in bowl games. Gonna be a really interesting game there on the 27th. And then our second game on the 27th is the big one for the Mountain West. It's the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl. This one being played down in Tucson, Arizona. It will be Fresno State coming in at 8-4 versus Miami of Ohio coming in at 7-6. Of course, Miami, the runner-up in the MAC. They lost there to Western Michigan. Kickoff will be at 2:30 p.m. Mountain Time. This game's actually on the CW. And the Bulldogs here are 17-6 in bowl games all time. This is the 5th straight bowl appearance, but the first in the Arizona Bowl. This is the first ever meeting between Fresno State and Miami of Ohio. Should be another pretty good game. These teams are fairly evenly matched. So we get 3 of 7 games for the Mountain West versus Power 4 opponents. Our matchups are 2 versus the Big Ten, 2 versus the MAC, and then 1 each versus the ACC, the American, and the Pac-12. The 3 games I really liked that really stood out to me would be the Rate Bowl, the LA Bowl, and the New Mexico Bowl. But you know I'll be watching all of these games. I am predicting a record out of bowl season of 4-3. I believe the Mountain West is over 500 for this year's bowl season. 4-3. And if you're new to the channel, we pick every bowl game, not just every Mountain West bowl game, but every bowl game. We do live pick shows on Wednesday evening. So you're interested in hearing who I and Steve will be picking for both the bowls and the CFP. We're going to start them here this week on Wednesday night. With that, I thank you guys for watching this episode. Smash that like button on the way out and subscribe if you're not already, and we'll see you next time on the Big Mountain.